and this and that and the third. See, that shit wasn't broken down to me like that.
Yeah, no, that's the shit they don't tell us, man.
And I'm going to do what I want to do, because if I don't do what I want to do, I'm not going to keep the job, because you know what I'm saying. So I gotta go strive for my strive, which is I know it's gonna be a struggle. It's gonna be a strive, this and that, but fuck it. You know what I'm saying?
But is that struggle to do good equivalent or worse than being in that prison?
Hell yeah, way better.
You know what I'm saying? So
way better.
Okay. I can live and get this shit popping for 2, 3, maybe 4 years, but after that I might wind up having to do 3 to 9. Depending on how bad it is, you know what I'm saying. I'm like, so that time in behind that wall
is everything.
Is it going to be harder than me working every day? Yeah. Is me working every day gonna feel better than being in there with all them again? No, it didn't make sense to me, man.
For the same
That's one reason I stopped selling crack, man, because I started seeing crack dealers getting numbers and thinking that selling weed was getting probation.
Yeah.
I was like, I sell weed because all the crack dealers smoke weed.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
The crackheads smoke weed.
No.
I sell weed.
No.
And I'm still operating low. You know what I'm saying? Because even selling that weed, if I get busted,
and they're not hitting you stupid.
They're not hitting me stupid.
No.
But that charge is going to prevent me from getting employment that can cover the money the weed is covering. Now I got to get a bullshit ass job, and I got to sell weed to make the ends meet.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
See, these are things we learned in our generation.
Yep.
That we didn't learn from our parents, that we got to pass on to the little niggas, but the little niggas don't want to hear that shit.
Nah. They don't want to hear none of that.
You saw how Jay was?
Yeah, I see how all of them are. I see how Jay, I see how my daughter, I see how Low son,
Yeah, they don't want to hear that shit.
All
I'm
the
like,
little motherfuckers, and they be like, yo, get the fuck out. Yo, that's why I be like, yo, we have more motherfucking humble. We have more humbleism. Cause these motherfuckers, they don't know. See?
Yeah, they
just don't know.
And I keep saying it, like,
they don't know.
My generation,
they don't know the worst. They don't know.
It's the first real street generation. You know what I'm saying? Because that shit won't happen. What's going on now won't happen in the 20s, 30s, and 40s.
Yeah.
Black people was trying to do positive shit.
Yeah.
But, everything positive black people done in America,
like you said, the
white people done burnt that shit down. Everything positive black people. So, every generation after saw that shit was like, then fuck you then. I get it how I get it. You know what I mean? And then the halfway good niggas see our parents, like I told you, supporting families with no high school diploma. So we just get a job. I can hustle on the side. Mm-hmm. But then we see the good working motherfucker. It looks like he ain't really doing well, but the drug dealer motherfucker is out here with a Benz. He's 17 with a Benz. You know what I mean? So we was like, shit, I want to be like that.
And all the bitches on him.
Yeah.
All the bitches. Even older women was on him.
And he the first generation, right? There was like fat cat and shit.
That. They don't even believe that. Yo, see, they can't even. From my nephew. Remember my nephew Josh? He can't even. Dante and them can't even phantom that. Like that ever. You know, just like, yo, y'all sold drugs, this and that, yo, this and that. Like my nephew be like, where all the money go? Yo, Josh, all the money is blown. This is quick as you make it.
Yeah, just as quick as you don't keep that shit, man. I don't know. We know a lot of drug dealers coming up, right? How many of them motherfuckers right now is doing good? There are a couple, and those couple that did took that drug money, bought houses, became real estate agents and shit like that.
They had a network of support.
Yeah,
like
but they didn't pass the shit on. So that's buying the Benzes and shit. He wound up locked up. But that Benz money could have been 5 houses. You know what I mean? And he continued doing that. You never have to sell drugs again. black people start to take drug dealing and shit like that as a valuable form of employment until they realize it's going to
Especially
lead.
in our era.
It starts with our era.
Hell yeah, we made that shit a full-time job.
Yeah, because we
Full-time
seen
job.
niggas was fucked up.
Hell yeah.
My mother's fucked up. She might be going to work all day, barely paying the rent.
Yo.
We in this motherfucking eating beans. And,
I seen motherfuckers turn my mom's down telling her she can't get the job because she's overqualified.
I've heard that too.
I said, yo, get the fuck out of here. I said, you overqualified.
So, and when shit get hard, especially when they took the father out the house, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when shit get hard on mom, she's stressing the oldest male in the spot. It's like, I gotta do something.
You gotta work.
So we might have quit school and went to work, right?
Real shit.
But we the first generation where high school diploma is necessary to have a good job. We're the first generation of that.
Yeah.
Because our parents worked for years, put kids through college, and had 6th grade, 10th grade education.
Yeah.
But those places aren't here anymore.
Yeah.
So now you got to have at least a college degree.
Yeah.
Our generation, you needed at least a high school diploma, or they started not hiring you. And a high school diploma was a requirement.
If you ain't have a high school diploma or GED.
Yeah.
For real.
Now, high school diploma.
In the 90s, yo.
Yeah, that started in the 90s. That's our generation.
No.
You know what I mean? And the shit crazy, dog. And I'm like my son. I'm trying to tell you, dog. I'm not telling you, trying to dictate anything. I'm giving you the
passing information on you.
And I wasn't.
All you are.
And look,
you are information to me. So I gotta pass the information.
Look, and we didn't. And this is information we acquired within our lifetime because our parents didn't have this information to give to us. You know what I'm saying? My mother didn't tell me, yo, look, if you don't get your high school diploma, man, you ain't gonna be able to get no job or nothing, because she doesn't know that. Because
she too zoomed in.
No, it ain't even that. Because the people of her time didn't have high school diplomas and had great jobs.
Yeah.
Because that shit started in our generation.
Yeah, you right. You absolutely right. You absolutely right. You right.
You know what I'm saying?
You right.
Now those factories are gone.
They gone. They gone.
You know what I mean?
And that's why.
And then they took the father. You know, they worked the father out the house. However, the black father got out the house.
Woman, they spoiled them.
Yeah, gave them education. Now they don't need us.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, that's cool. You know what I mean? But you can't expect a man just because education-wise and financial-wise you became greater to make yourself feel like he's lower than you. If you make him feel like that, he's gone. But that's other shit, man, that you know, it's relationship to relationship.
Yeah.
But back to the J shit, right? Like I said, we didn't, and the information that we're trying to pass on to him, we're probably the first generation to pass on those things because we learned it in our generation.
Survived it.
You know what I'm saying? Our parents taught us, like I told you before, white people are taught to prosper, right? Black people were taught to survive.
Yeah.
And when you survive, and it's any means necessary.
Yeah.
But sometimes trying to survive made your situation worse, put you in jail for 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or even if you got a felony and you got probation, that F is gonna fuck you up.
Yeah.
Now you gotta do some more underload, download shit. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, you don't want to, because you still want to look like the motherfucker that's out here selling drugs. You still want to look like him because he fucking all the bitches, right? So we still have that misconception. Now, okay, I gotta hustle a little more because once I pay these bills, I ain't really got no money. You know, I gotta get fly. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? That's still with us. You know what I mean? And that getting fly shit don't do nothing but keep us poor and make the motherfuckers that make up clothes with monkeys on it and shit like that to make fun of us in our face, but we still go spend the money with them. Gucci called us to our face. And niggas still Gucci. Love it. I'm like, fuck Gucci. I'm at this point, I'm like, fuck all these motherfucking clothes designers. That's why y'all them niggas in tight clothes, man. Them was like, yo, Oh shit, they like to sag, so we'll make it a little tighter, make their ass look like titties. Got they buns all on top of their shit. Who wanted to see that? Faggots. I've heard women be like, yeah, I don't like it, but that's the style. I can't get him to pull his pants up. It's crazy, man. The psychological warfare that went on with us, man, is incredible.
For real. For real.
This is all psychological.
It is. It is all psychological. For real. Real shit.
So now that we're not in slavery and in bondage, our brains keep us in the same condition that we were in slavery and in bondage.
Yeah. Real shit.
And I'm telling you, I think we're the first generation that are telling our children, no school is an easier way to poverty.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you don't have to go to school to be a doctor. If you're good with your hands, use your hands. Mm-hmm. But in these days and times, you just can't get up and do the job. You got to have a license and be certified and shit.
Oh, you got to at least have the school then.
Yeah. The shit they used to teach in high school, they don't teach no more. Now you got to pay to learn it.
Real shit. Real shit. It's like copyrights. You could have just went to motherfucking the library for copyright for the papers.
Nobody know that shit, man. It's crazy, man. That's why I say, man, it's such a psychological warfare, man, that these motherfuckers and the masses don't realize it. No. And the ones that realize it, we don't, it's not enough for us to make a difference.
Yeah.
Because I'm out here. Like, I live in the belly of the beast, right? And I look around and I see, I'm like, y'all making the same mistakes I did. But I can see why you're making them. Our parents couldn't see why we were making ours because they weren't used to what was going on. You know what I mean? Because our parents is the last of the unified black family.
Mm-hmm. You're right.
You know what I mean?
You're right. You're right.
I mean, as a whole, because you always had single mothers, right?
Mm-hmm.
But but the norm was mother-father.
Mm-hmm.
I was born in the 70s. That's about when that shit started to change. You started seeing more. I'll give you an example. Look at the gang situation, right? And look at when fathers were not really in the house like that and mothers was having kids by different men. As that grew, so did gangs. Gangs started in the 60s. You know what I mean? I mean, they've always been groups.
Wow, yeah.
You know what I mean? But the actual gang thing, I mean, not including the mafia and stuff like that. I'm not looking at the mafia in the 20s and 30s. I'm not really looking at that. Mm-hmm. Because even during the mafia times, there was more black families than ever. So it was because we were trying to be good. You feel what I'm saying? The more we try to be good and the more opposition that came, the more we was like, fuck y'all. We gonna get it how we get it. And every younger generation was like, man, fuck the white man. He don't want you to have nothing. But now that you can actually get some shit, we psychologically still saying he don't want you to have shit. But now he really can't stop you if you put your mind to more than we did. And that's what I'm trying to tell my son, man. Like, look, you got more opportunities than I did. I had more opportunities than my mother. She had more opportunities than her mother. You know what I mean? But when we get to my generation, we were like, fuck your opportunities. You know what I'm saying? And because I said so ain't good enough no more.
No.
You go to school because I said so. Okay.
No.
That ain't good enough no more.
Yeah.
Now, I can give you the explanation of why you should go to school.
Exactly.
So you're not getting because I said so. You're getting the understanding that if you don't go to school for something, if you don't learn something, you're going to have to dib and dab in the criminal element. And that shit going to put you in prison. Or dead. Or with a charge on your name that the shit that you could have just waited for or worked for, you can't even get no more. You know what I mean? Real shit. So
And that's real shit, yo. You know, because that's what I tell you all the time. My indulgence into criminology was due to my lack of education. My indulgence into criminology was due to my lack of education.
it's crazy, man. But I'm not gonna stop telling him. You can get mad with me, you can argue with me saying
He gonna get mad
because you're getting mad because I'm telling you. You ain't getting mad because of really what I'm saying. You getting mad because you don't feel I can tell you anything.
And now it's just you.
And it's just me.
It's just you. You know what I'm saying? That should be crazy, man.
Because
that should be crazy.
Like he got a friend named Khalil, right? Mm-hmm. And me and him used to sit down and talk, man. And everything I tell Jay, I tell him because he was hanging around Jay. Yeah. And I'm not saying I got anything to do with him doing good or bad in life. You know what I mean? But when we was talking, it felt like he was listening to me. Mm-hmm. He wasn't stopping me from talking. Mm-hmm. And he was like, okay, word, okay, I hear that. You know what I mean? Like last time I seen him, he was talking about going into yard care. And I was like, first, get a job with somebody. You know what I mean? And learn that shit. Because 9 times out of 10, the person you get a job with will give you your first lawnmower. You know what I'm saying? If he's that, there's the people out there like that.
If you put in that work.
Yeah, but go get
your work and your character.
Yeah, go get a job first. Learn the business by getting paid for your work.
And you gonna get a customer. Somebody gonna give you a
yeah, and if you do good, they gonna tell somebody just do it. I don't, and that's just a conversation. But he seemed like he was listening, and there was no argument. But with Jay. I was like, you need to, I'm like, networking is one of the easiest things you can do. You know what I mean? And I got you ends. I got a nigga right now at the store that said, look, he passed his first certification. I'll have him a job by Monday.
And what?
And he won't set himself up for the test, but.
What test? For what?
Networking. Computer, internet. He's a network manager. And he was like, look, he get his first certification. I'll help him from there. But he got to get that first one.
Come on, yo.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying.
But that's dealing with the children, man. And I don't care. I ain't going to stop. I cut hair, right? Them Indian
motherfuckers over there?
Them Indian motherfuckers, they all in the computer shit. So you know me, I don't give a fuck about your prejudices. I'm gonna work your ass because I'm good fucking people, right? So when I'm cutting their hair, they talking to me. And then, I'm in computer now. I'm like, yeah. And then I go into, I'm trying to get my son. I've gotten people that they come in there. I know.
You networking.
I'm doing the networking. And I know half of them people hair that I'm cutting don't like me. Mm-hmm. I could tell by their mannerisms. You know what I'm saying? But I don't give a fuck. I'll break through that shit, man. You can't.
Listen, my friends ain't. My friends are different. You know what I'm saying? My friends are, my friends are different people. I love my people too much to be around them. Yeah, I looked at that earlier this morning. My people, I love my people too much to be around them because I can't get nothing from my people. My people trying to get me. You know what I'm saying?
I'm around them people, man. I can tell they not liking me. But I'm not a stupid person, so I could damn near jump into any conversation, even if I'm just trying to get information, right? But now I got them like, you really want your house? Like, yeah, I think it would be good because it also gives them freedom because you don't have to be inside of that office. You can do whatever you want to do and just go to work from where you're at. Yeah. I'm trying to show them that. You know what I mean? And they telling them, they giving me books for him to read. Like, learn this right here. He can pass this test. If he learn this book right here, he can pass this test. The book's in there with him right now. And these are from people when they walk in, I know they got a preconceived notion of black people because 9 times out of 10, they told an immigration to watch out for us.
Yeah.
But after that fucking haircut, I done broke all that shit down. Them motherfuckers was like, I want him to cut my hair. I'm not even making a lot of money up there because I couldn't work a couple hours a day, a couple days.
Yeah.
So I'm not even making any money, but I'm using it so maybe I can get a little kick in the door. Maybe my son will make the money later. And I'm not gonna stop telling them no. I'm not gonna stop telling them no. It's crazy. It's just crazy, and it'll be his generation where it'll start changing, where more black people will start choosing better situations. You know what I'm saying? Because I guarantee you, when he gets older, he gonna remember the shit we went through with me trying to tell him, and he gonna see what I was talking about, and he's gonna pass it on to his, and they might be a little more accepting because it changes from generation to generation.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that change from generation to generation too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hopefully.
Hopefully.